Why are you running?
Well, I'm running because, originally I was very excited when Ottawa Impact took over the board. They talked a game that I really enjoyed, faith, family, freedom. Like a lot of conservative Republicans in this district, I was not overly happy with the lockdowns at the time and how things were handled by the state and local government as well at the time. And so I was pretty excited when they took over, but, I just kept paying attention and there's just some things that weren't sitting well with me. I thought maybe eventually that they would maybe kind of grow into their positions because I understand a lot of them really didn't have any experience in government or anything before, and I understand there's a learning curve. And so I give people some, leeway when it comes to that. But stuff just it didn't sit well with me. Initially they tried to fire the healthcare director, Hambly, and it became pretty obvious early on that that wasn't going to work. The Court of Appeals said that she was lawfully appointed. They weren't going to be able to fire her, but they continued to waste, county time and money trying to pursue to get rid of her. Then that didn't work. Then, of course, they stumbled into the lawsuit situation about the offer with the $4 million settlement. And, I was told when I talked to some of the people that, there was no offer, that's not true, it's fake news and stuff, but I kept looking and I was like, well, the evidence I'm seeing doesn't seem to back their point of view. I mean, I know as an attorney, and I think it's just common sense that if you're doing negotiation and you throw a figure out there like $4 million, that you talk it over with your client, which would be the county here, and get permission to even start negotiating with that figure. And that's right in there in the email that the Kelman Law Group sent to Hambly's attorney. It's right there, there's $4 million. No attorney would put that figure on there unless they had the express permission of Joe Moss and the board. But then I was told, well, no, we didn't really make an offer. And initially I saw that there was an order proposed by Hambly's lawyer. I was concerned about that, but I was told that, that's fake news, that's not what happened. And then the judge comes out with her ruling, and she basically verifies everything that was said, and that what Director Hambly's lawyer put in there was basically exactly what the judge said happened. It was maybe a little more diplomatic, but the judge basically backed up what Hambly's lawyer said happened. And we have other commissioners that were there and have, proclaimed that they made this offer. And so as much as I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt, the evidence seemed to suggest that that wasn't what happened. So I was getting ready to go on vacation, and all of a sudden I see John Gibbs has been fired, and Chairman Moss released all these allegations on his website, making all these salacious and disturbing claims against John Gibbs, and then Gibbs is countersuing them. And that's when I said, a word I've heard from a lot of people across the county and in Georgetown Township is just enough. They've had a lot of time to grow into the role. I remember how arrogant they were about how John Gibbs is such a great hire and how he was so ready to take over and lead, and then 14 months later or so they fired him, said that he was insubordinate and threatening people, and then Gibbs has filed a lawsuit saying that they're incompetent and govern out of spite and instinct, I believe is what he said. And regardless of who's true, and the truth may lie in the middle, the county is embarrassed. I had a friend who's very conservative, used to live here. He just sent me a text one time saying that, the county is an embarrassment, what's going on here. And so I just said enough, it's time for somebody to get in there, get things back on the right track, and kind of, hire competent people and start making, rational arguments for our positions instead of a lot of the, what I call bumper sticker logic that you hear a lot of Ottawa Impact people talk about, which is, faith, family, freedom, which that's great, but unless you're an atheist, most people, even if they're liberal Democrats, agree with that type of stuff. So that's why I decided to run. It has nothing to do about being on a vengeance tour like one of the OI supporters said, or upset about not getting the job in December. I have a great life, a great family, and a lot of people encourage me to run to give people an opportunity to have a second option that's not an Ottawa Impact Republican.
What are your priorities and or platform?
Well, I'm definitely a conservative Republican. I noticed some of the Ottawa Impact people were initially talking Rhino, but now those of us running against them have fallen into the Liberal Democrat candidate side of things, apparently. And I even noticed that the Ottawa County Patriots are being called Democrats by these people. So it's very interesting. I'm not used to being called that. But what I always believe in is listening to people to understand first instead of bashing people over the head and just using what they say against them right away. And so I believe I have the best ability to listen and hear people out, make very competent, intelligent arguments for what I believe in. And the first thing we have to do is get competent people within government. It just appears to me to be very clear that we have a lot of cronyism going on here in the county, and that the only vetting that's really going on is being sure that, you know, people are pretty much in lockstep with what Ottawa Impact Republicans agree with across the board. That seems to be the number one factor when they hire people. And it was really interesting when we have a interim county administrator taking over for John Gibbs, you know, Mr. Anderson, who's running for sheriff, and they appoint him as a part-time administrator. And I'm like, well, you don't have time to have somebody learn on the job. I mean, I made a comment to somebody, I thought Anderson would maybe be a better candidate for the full-time job where you'd give some people some time to learn on the job a little bit, rather than put him in a position where he needs to know what to do right away. And he didn't have the skills to jump in there right away and know exactly what he was doing from day one. I would have supported Karen for that position. I thought it was a no-brainer. But, you know, John obviously agrees with a lot of what the Ottawa Impact people do, and he got the nod.
Tell me about you personally. Something that like you like to do for fun, go to places, eat out, and it's something that maybe someone doesn't know about you.
Me and my wife love to travel. I'm a big sports fan. Michigan, Detroit Lions. I went to one of the playoffs game last year. It was just absolutely fantastic. I remember we left the Lions game, and after they beat Tampa Bay, and I'm walking the streets, and there's people driving, standing on cars, and waving and honking their horns. The police are just waving to everybody, and it was just a fantastic experience. I'll be going to some Tiger games here recently. I do like doing some fishing at our county parks and stuff like that. You know, I've been a native here 40 years in West Michigan roughly, and then I joke around I wanted to explore and see places, and I lived my next 10 years of my life in Kent County, kind of traveling the world. But, you know, we like to travel, go to the Caribbean, take some cruises, enjoy our family. My family's pretty much all here. Most of them are in Ottawa County. I have an aunt that lives right over the border in Kent County, and then another one lives in Allegan. But we got strong ties to the community here. One thing that was interesting is I had a very diverse background as far as schooling. I went to public school at Jamestown and Hudsonville. I went to church school for a couple of years. And I even was homeschooled for a couple of years. And homeschooling was a great experience for me. I have another friend who did homeschool for all throughout high school and grade school, and now he's graduated from honors from Michigan Law School and is working for a big firm here in town, doing really well.
Why should people vote for you?
Well, I think I'm the best and most qualified candidate for the values that we have in Georgetown Township. What I'm really concerned about is I see a lot of people when they make arguments for, you know, conservative Republican values, it's just the bumper sticker logic. There's no real logical explanation about why you're doing something and what you support. It's just faith, family, freedom, or we support the Constitution and we're against, you know, vaccine mandates and so forth. I mean, that's all great, but, you know, I don't hear a lot about why you're against that stuff. I know one thing when I talk about right to life issues, and I was able to get the endorsement from Right to Life, even against somebody that's an incumbent candidate currently right now, which is very difficult to do. I know the history about issues when it comes to abortion. I know the language of the courts, and I can use that. You know, I would argue that when you're talking about Roe, it's not an issue that's deeply embedded within the nation's history and tradition. When Justice Alito wrote his opinion in Dobbs, you know, I've studied the common law stuff that he brings up there, like Lord Coke and William Blackstone, and studied a lot of the founding fathers, Jefferson, Madison, the early United States history. I know a lot of people like to use when it comes to First Amendment issues, they talk about, you know, David, geez, I'm drawing a blank now. David Barton. Okay. The problem with him is he's had some things that I think were taken out of context a little bit, so he has some credibility issue. A lot of the stuff he says is accurate in my own study, but I like to cite, you know, Daniel Dreisbach, who's like a PhD. He has a Juris Doctorate. He went to, I believe, Oxford and got a degree while he was over there. Just very scholarly, writes a lot of stuff about the Founding Fathers and the First Amendment and issues of religion and how it really applies to the First Amendment. And that's the type of stuff I can bring there. You know, I've read the commentaries on the Constitution by Justice Joseph Story, who was appointed, I believe, by Thomas Jefferson. It might have been Madison, but I believe it was Thomas Jefferson. You know, that's a really eye-opener. You go back and read what he says as an expert about the intent of the First Amendment of the Constitution at that time. And those are the type of arguments I can bring. I'm definitely a conservative Republican. I'm not running as a Democrat trying to ambush people by anything like that. And to me, that's just the politics of personal destruction. And I would just encourage, you know, when you're running against a sitting commissioner, what I notice is they have a record to run on. And what I find very interesting is they're instead choosing to run on the politics of personal destruction. You know, that's the type of stuff that was used against Judge Bork in the 1980s, Justices Thomas and Kavanaugh. Why aren't you talking about your record? You know, when DeSantis won in 2020 in his victory speech, he said it's really easy to run a good campaign when you have a record to run on. So why are these people attacking the people running against them instead of talking about their great conservative record that they claim to have? I think it's very telling, and I don't think a lot of people are buying it and very happy with that.
You pretty much answered probably this next question, but I'll still ask it. What are your thoughts over the past year and a half to 2 years?
It's been disappointing, and it's not just Democrats and independents. And what I find very interesting is when I've talked to some Democrats and independents, they say, well, yeah, we knew they'd be conservative, but what I keep hearing over and over again is how you go about doing things is in a lot of ways just as important as what you're doing. The fact that they went in there and made all these changes on day one and then ended up firing a guy they appointed day one 14 months later says maybe you should have taken a little bit more of your time. I remember back when I was in college, I was reading Edmund Burke Reflections on the Revolution in France, which is a kind of the founding father of modern conservative thought back then. And he talks about, basically he said, it's better to be criticized for maybe moving a little too slow than to move quickly and cause problems. And that's what happened. You know, at the time I was excited about the Kelman hire because I knew them from criminal law and I knew stuff that they had done as far as appeal work, and they did great work. And that's why I was excited and defended them at the time. But I didn't realize at the time that they had no municipality work at the time. And it just floored me that they just went in there and hired people based on trust. And I hear that all the time, but the word I'm looking for is trust and competence. And there's plenty of other conservative municipality lawyers they could have hired for the job instead of just somebody that they trust.
To kind of follow up to some of the answers that you kind of gave, what stuck out to you to where it made you excited for an Ottawa Impact board member versus now?
Well, it was just the faith, family, freedom. I mean, even Mayor Mark, it was, you know, endorsed Joe Moss at the time. And, you know, Joe's been very respectful and reasonable with me. I have nothing personally against him with how he's dealt with me. I've just had to look at the evidence that I see that's, you know, that's available for everybody to see. And I just can't buy the explanations that they're giving. I mean, even the other day, you know, Joe was posting on his Facebook page about, you know, the lie about the $4 million offer. I mean, I'm not going to call people a liar. I don't like doing that. I just want to talk about the issues. But I just can't get over the fact that the evidence just doesn't seem to support that conclusion at all.
When it comes to the platform or priorities you're looking for, you talked about compensated. What goes through your mind that you're looking for out of a government official when it comes to people running the county government?
Merit and achievement. You know, the educational background. What type of experience they have in that form of government. One thing I'm very concerned about is I don't need somebody to be working in the county government that agrees with me politically at all. Can you do your job competently, and are you going to do what the board asks you to do and not try to undermine anything? I mean, I'd be very concerned if Democrats had control of the board and then just started firing Republicans just because they're Republicans, or just replacing everybody with fellow Democrats just because they're a Democrat. I'm not going to support that either way. If there's a Democrat going for a position, they're the best skilled person for the job, and they have the best merit and achievement, I'm going to support them for the position, you know, as long as they're not, you know, threatening to undermine what the board wants to do. If they're willing to, you know, try to help the board achieve what they want to do, I'm going to hire the best I'll try to hire what I believe to be the best person based on merit and achievement, not trustworthiness or if they agree with me, on my personal political beliefs.
You pretty much answered this, but I would like to get clarification. Your thoughts about the current county administration office?
Well, I have concerns because I have feelings that that'll be replaced with a full-time replacement before we get to next January. And I wasn't thrilled with having to replace people and do all the buyouts that were attached to other people. My concern is they'll appoint somebody and then put a buyout in there, and maybe we're not thrilled with the job he's doing, but do we want the county to have to go back and pay all these buyouts again? Now, we'll see if that happens. I don't know. Whoever's in there, if I have the privilege to represent District 6, I'm going to give them a fair shake, see what type of job they do, and if it's lacking, then we'll have some conversations. But I would be hesitant to go in there and fire somebody like that on day one.
Sure. You talked about right to life. You got the right to life endorsement, Michigan right to life?
That's correct.
And you described yourself as a conservative Republican. Explain to me that, because obviously you described yourself being labeled right now as a rhino / a Democrat or a liberal. So explain to me, what is your thoughts as a conservative Republican?
Well, fiscal responsibility, which is the number one thing I think a lot of commissioners need to do, making sure the taxpayer money is used wisely, being careful to see what's the issue with strings attached to the money that we get from the state. Now, the other side of that coin is even if I'm not thrilled with the strings attached, I would probably rather have that money stay here in Ottawa County than get sent to the state or federal government. And one of the candidates that's running with me against Ottawa Impact had a great line. They said it's almost like they trust the state and DC to handle the money better than the county. And I'm going to trust the county with that. I mean, I understand there's strings attached, and we'll be careful with that, but I'm not going to just give the taxpayer money in Ottawa County back to the state because I might not like what's going on there. I'm fiscally conservative. I have some libertarian in me as far as, civil rights and skeptical about, policing issues and stuff like that. I'm going to move, cautiously, but when we decide to do something, I'm not going to go in and want to make a radical change right away. I was a big supporter of Ron Paul during his 2 campaigns. I was supporting DeSantis, but that didn't work out too well for him in 2022, unfortunately. But that's just the type of thought process I have. I'm pro-life. I was not supportive of the lockdowns. I was especially not happy when we got to the end of April, and Governor Whitmer said that she was just going to keep, ruling through executive order and not, listen to what the legislator might have to say. I was definitely big on separation of powers, but I also say as a limited government guy, that means I'm limited in my scope of powers as county commissioner. I'm not going to take powers that don't belong to me. We've knocked on some doors. We had people talking about, well, the Ottawa Impact people, they want to protect the children. I'm like, well, that's great. I don't even know the most liberal Democrat that doesn't want to protect the children. But the issue is I'm running for Ottawa County Board. I'm not running for the school board issue. If there's an issue with your books in the library there, talk to your school board member and talk to those people there. A county commissioner, I don't have any say in that. I go to one of these board meetings and I literally sat down and watched, and somebody gets up and talks about being against the COVID vaccine. And then I see one of the more Democrat liberal people kind of get a spark in there, and they got to walk up and say how great it is. And then a conservative person got up and said, no, it's bad. And then the same liberal person got back up and said, no, it's great. And I'm just like, if you want the vaccine, feel free to get as much as you want. If you don't, you don't. I support either choice. But it's like, it's personal responsibility. But it's like, this is an Ottawa County Board Commission. It's like, what does this have? I'm not forcing people to take vaccines. I don't have any say on that, and I never will as a county board. That's something to take up with your state rep, state senator, governor, United States, and stuff like that. I don't understand why people think this is a county board issue. I'm a very limited government guy. Our powers are limited as county commissioner. And, if I don't like something, I might make it known I don't like it, but I'm not going to usurp power that I don't have.
I think I've hit everything I can think of at this moment. Is there anything else you'd like to add in a little bit about you personally, or anything you'd like to add in, like for the people to understand more about you?
Well, I would just tell people if they have any more, want to answer any more questions about me, just look me up on my website. It's, Shawn Haff and the number 4 commissioner.com. You can find me on Facebook. More than happy to talk to anybody about my beliefs. If you hear any rumors about me, contact me. I'll set the record straight. I think I'm the best qualified, competent person for this job here. I think I have the skills to fight for the values we believe in without really alienated Democrats and liberals, because instead of just, the bumper sticker logic, we're going to be talking more facts, and we're going to stay in our lane and make sure we focus on budget issues and appointing the right people to the county, and not necessarily getting into all the hot button social topics. The county commissioner's positions on abortion isn't really relevant to the position for the most part. Those issues have been talked about with and dealt with. And yeah, I'm pro-life, but I don't really have any authority to regulate abortion other than, I know they put some right to life stuff up on the county website, and that's great, and I'm glad that was done, but that's really the extent of what's going on there at the county commission level. So feel free to contact me. I'd be happy to talk to anybody and get to know you and listen to your concerns. In my business, I'm big on customer service, and I always, get in touch with my clients right away and talk to people. And as commissioner, I will make sure everybody's in touch. I will have a great working relationship with Georgetown Township. Those elections are very important. I'm definitely supporting Jim Wieringa and his team over there. We need competent conservative people there, and we have that. And I'm very concerned about the people that Ottawa Impact are supporting out there, that they're going to take the chaos we have in the county and apply it to Georgetown Township as well. And that's very concerning to me. But I'll be happy to talk to more people about that another time. Thank you.